This piece features both an inlaid Chinese brush painting and calligraphy spanning the front panels. The face of each stile and rail is modeled and machined to reveal a graceful curve. The mitered corners allow the modeled surface to flow around the frame, taking the focus off the frame itself and emphasizing the panel's artwork. The corner pieces are machined between centers and feature simple joinery and graceful curves that work in harmony with the arched bottom rails, the bottom lip of the lid, and the overall design of the chest. The rear panels are made from aromatic cedar, and the lid utilizes a supporting rim hidden inside the chest that stabilizes the lid and prevents it from warping while creating an elegant, light composition. One technique that will ensure that all of the parts and details are correct is to surface plane a wasteboard on the CNC. Here we attached a second wasteboard and machined relief passes for the tongue and groove cutters. Legacy's Artisan 2 CNC shown here features auto tool change and smart tool technology to automate the entire milling process, eliminating the need to manually touch off the tools or set up tool tables. For this project, we used Vectric's Aspire CAD/CAM software to model and program each part. The face of the stiles and rails are cupped, forming a graceful curve that is machined into the part using a round nose or core box bit. We drill straight down at the entry point using a 2-flute straight cutter or end mill before cutting out the part. This technique minimizes the tear out as the tool cuts into the end grain. The center stiles have a groove cut into both sides. The relief pass cut into the baseboard provides the clearance for the bearing on the bottom of the cutter. A matching cutter is used to machine the mitered tongue on each end of these parts. All of the stiles and rails are machined with the cupped profile on the face and the mitered tongue and groove joinery, providing uniform details on all sides including the back. Due to the varying widths of the stiles and rails, not all of the mitered joinery is cut at 45 degrees. In Legacy's accelerated training classes, we will teach you how to design and program each of the parts, ensuring that the joinery is perfect. When you purchase a CNC from Legacy Woodworking Machinery, you get far more than just a CNC router table. You receive an entire CNC system complete with training and customer support. In our weekly training classes, we'll teach you how to design, program, and create beautiful projects like this one. The bottom rails are designed with a graceful arch. Consequently, the cupped surface is programmed to follow the shape. This feature cannot be created using a table saw, router table, or shaper. It would need to be formed using hand tools. Only CNC can create this level of detail efficiently enough to make your business productive and profitable. Once again, we drill down on the edges of the part at the entry point to eliminate tear out, and then cut out the part and add the tongue and groove joinery. Legacy manufactures a full line of CNC systems ranging from 2 feet wide by 2 feet long up to 4 feet wide by 10 feet long. This system is 4 feet by 8 feet, allowing you to process sheet goods or turn spindles or columns up to 8 feet long. The bottom rails for the front and back of the chest have mitered notches machined to receive the center stiles. The notches are cut out using a 1/4-inch diameter end mill, and then the groove is machined along the top edge of the rail following the profile. Again, you'll notice that the wasteboard already has the relief cuts, allowing clearance for the bearing on both the tongue and groove cutters. Once the stiles and rails are finished, we cut out the panels using the CNC to ensure that they are square and properly dimensioned. Then we cut the inlay pocket into the face of the 3 front panels. Machining the tongue around the perimeter of the panel can be completed on the CNC as shown here, or on a simple router table if you prefer. If you wish, the CNC can perform every process involved in creating the chest. To form the corner post, we mounted the stock between centers and surfaced two adjacent sides to ensure that the parts would be square and perfectly dimensioned. Next, we used a pattern cutting router bit to cut the curves on the opposite sides. Legacy designed this cutter, available from Magnate, with a long shaft and a bearing that supports the cutter as you make multiple passes cutting on the side of the stock. However, for this project, we removed the bearing from the cutter. To machine the dados, we used a 1/4 inch diameter end mill. We also used this cutter to score the top of the corner post. After the parts are completed, we'll use a saw to cut the parts to length, referencing the score mark. You'll notice that we programmed each side independently using CAD/CAM software. In our training classes, we'll also show you how to manually index the part to cut each side, or combine all of the programs together with the indexing process included in a single program. We built a simple fixture out of 3/4 inch MDF to hold the parts square as we glue up each panel. The fences are held in place using wood screws. You'll notice a gap between the two fences. The gap makes it easier to clamp the parts into the corner of the fixture during the glue-up process. Wax paper prevents glue from getting on the fixture and makes for quick and easy cleanup. At this point, there is no room for error. You'll want to carefully lay out the parts, ensuring that they are properly positioned before applying any glue. We used rubber spacers, called space balls, to keep the panels centered without gluing them in place. This technique allows the wood to expand and contract as necessary, preventing the panels from cracking and splitting as the wood moves. You'll want to insert 2 space balls for each edge of the panels. Next, we apply the glue to the tongue and shoulder of the mitered joinery, being very careful not to get any glue into the grooves. And finally, we start the panel assembly process, starting in the corner and working to the left, with the arched bottom rail put into place last. We also clamp down the corner to ensure that the panels are flat. A groove is machined into the inside surface of the bottom rail on each of the panels to receive the bottom panel of the chest. For this process, we didn't bother to write a program. We simply set the plunge depth, positioned the cutter in the Y-axis, and manually jogged the cutter along the X-axis to machine the groove. We drilled holes and notched the corners of the bottom panel to match the corner post, and then cut the panel to size. The corner posts are then glued to both the front and the back panels. We used a small piece of MDF to protect the curved sides of the post as we clamped the parts together. Next, we dry fit the parts together before applying any glue. Clamping straps are used to hold the chest together as the glue dries. Now we'll turn our attention to the lid, which is machined out of a solid piece of maple. The edges are beveled using a rope molding cutter, and an end mill is used to machine the grooves for the supporting rim and the hinge on the back edge. And finally, the lid is cut to size using an end mill, ensuring that the part is square and properly dimensioned. For the black inlay, we used a product called Inlay, available from Craft Supplies USA, or thewoodturnerscatalog.com. Once again, you can see how Legacy will help you take your woodworking to the next level by providing an extremely versatile CNC system as well as the training to help you get the most out of your CNC. For more information on our full line of innovative CNC systems and our accelerated CNC training programs, please call 800-279-4570 or visit our website at www.legacycncwoodworking.com.